This video is sponsored by ᵐᵒⁿ'ᵗ. You know, this movie came out like, what, December of last year? Which makes it, I don't know, 5 months old? And I still vividly remember watching it in theaters and just sitting there telling myself,
Taka, do you understand? But I didn't know. I was just scared. It doesn't matter.
you know what? This would have been a lot better if it were in 2D. And this lone thought echoed in my brain for most of the movie. Because, yeah, it would have been better if this was simply made in the same fashion as the 1994 Lion King. But by then, that thought was completely overshadowed by the realization that I was the only one in the movie theater. Yep, I should not have bought a ticket for this one. The Mufasa movie was a complete, utter waste of potential, and here's why. Okay, so, first off, yes, I saw the movie. And yes, I saw it in theaters. So, technically, I supported a Disney live-action cash grab. Does that mean I'm part of the problem? Yeah, probably. But that's not the point right now. I saw the movie, and I have a lot of things to say. Like, a lot. So let's just get this out of the way. Did I like the movie? No, I did not. And apparently, I'm in the minority. And I get it. People have preferences. Some people enjoy things that some people don't, and that's fine. I'm just saying that you guys are wrong and I'm right. But here's the ultimate question. Is the movie bad? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so here's the thing. The movie isn't outright terrible. There are just a lot of things that it does that pretty much hold it back. Things that I personally think they could have easily done better or just completely avoided. And that's what this video is about. It's not gonna be me bashing the movie for like 30 minutes, but more so just a quick video about my thoughts and a bit of a deep dive into why I think the Mufasa movie deserved so much better. Part 1. The idea. In 1994, Disney released a movie called The Lion King. This movie would go on to become one of the highest grossing animated films of all time, praised for its animation, story, and music. The Lion King's critical and box office success stamped it as one of Disney's greatest films of all time. Fast forward 25 years and we get this heaping pile of garbage.
Can you feel the love tonight?
No, I don't. It's not even nighttime, so why the fuck are you singing this? And what's wrong with your face? Are you happy? Are you sad? Confused? Cause I am. Fuck you. But the point here is, the story of The Lion King is more than just good versus evil. It's a story about loss and redemption, a story about honor and legacy, a story about growth and self-discovery. So with the animated version and the 2019 remake both being major hits, countless awards for the music, a straight-to-DVD sequel being wildly loved, a spin-off that's garnered a cult following, and multiple TV shows, it was a complete no-brainer that a prequel would inevitably join in the mix. Thus, Mufasa the Lion King was born. The premise is fairly simple. It's a story that follows the journey of a young Mufasa and Scar and showcases the slow unraveling of their brotherhood as destiny pulls them down different paths, leading to the characters and conflicts we see now. And honestly, I see the vision. The conflict between Mufasa and Scar has been a fascinating topic for fans, so coming up with an official entry that directly connected the stories was simply an easy layup for Disney. Almost everything had been practically laid out in front of them. You already have the two main characters you want to focus on, you've already established a good outline of their relationship, you already have an existing fan base that can surely bring you some money, and you even went above and beyond and hired Lin-Manuel Miranda to write you your songs. Again, Jesus Christ, Lin, that's like, what, the 5th Disney project you've hopped in on? Hey, I'm not knocking ya. I respect the grind. Go get that paycheck, you bastard. To simply put it, the mindset would be to take one of the greatest characters of all time, together with one of the greatest villains of all time, and tell the backstory that led to one of Disney's greatest movies of all time. All Disney had to do was put 2 and 2 together and make a great story. What could possibly go wrong? So, spoiler warning, the movie begins with a dumb prologue. Don't worry, we'll talk about that later in the video. We're reintroduced to the main character of the last film, Simba.
My friends, the time of my family's growth is upon us.
Nala, my love, I'm on my way.
Okay, First of all, horrendous camera work there, by the way. You can't just vaguely show that time's passed, have a character say a line like that, then slowly pan up to the fucking sky. I thought Nala fucking died, bro. Of all movies, The Lion King is the last movie you want to be doing that with. But no, turns out Nala is alive, well, and pregnant, and about to give birth. So Simba has to leave Pride Rock for a second to be with her, leaving his daughter, Kiara, in the hands of Timon and Pumbaa. Rafiki joins in and he starts to share the story of Mufasa. And this prologue leads to absolutely fucking nowhere. I don't even know why they kept this dumb scene in here. It's honestly a complete waste of time. My only guess is that Beyonce really wanted her daughter Blue Ivy to be in a Disney film, so she forced the writers to shove in this dumbass intro just for her. Yep, that's Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter playing the role of Kiara, the princess of the Pride Lands. Gee, I wonder how you got that role. Well, anyway, after 10 excruciating minutes of filler, we get to meet our main character, Mufasa, significantly younger than what we're used to, together with his mom and dad. Now, disclaimer, apparently Mufasa's family is not royalty. And they mentioned that they're off to a place called Milele. They even sing a song about it. A giant flood separates Mufasa from his parents though and washes him somewhere far away. Hey, did you see that? Did you see? They did the thing. They did the thing from the first movie. They did the thing. Did you see? Hey, did you see? They did the thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. What a wallop. How fast was that elephant moving? My boy Mufasa just got yeeted. After floating for countless days with no food and water on a river in Africa infested with hippos, snakes, and crocodiles, Mufasa miraculously survives. And later on, he gets to meet our second main character, Taka, and his mother, Eshe.
Help me, Taka! Help me!
Oh, Jesus Christ. Boo! Boo! Hey, did you see that? You see? They did the thing from the first movie again! They did the thing from the first movie! I keep forgetting I'm the only one in here. Eshe technically adopts baby Mufasa, but he gets to live with the females. This would actually end up with Mufasa gaining some sort of superpower where his sense of smell and hearing is like otherworldly. Like unlike anyone has ever seen before. Yeah, like literally he can hear a herd of antelopes days away and smell flowers from gardens 10 states over. It's crazy. Which kind of makes his death in the first movie look a bit stupid because, my brother in Christ, you could do this entire time and you never clocked that Scar was setting you and your son up with the wildebeests. Anyways, years pass, they're all grown, and one day while hunting, Mufasa and Eshe get attacked by a couple of lions. All while Taka was chicken shit and was stout. Mufasa would end up killing one of them while the other one escapes. Turns out the two attackers came from a group called the Outsiders. Very unique name, by the way. According to the wiki, they chose that name because they were seen as outsiders for their white fur, which is still a weird reason to name your group like that. It's like fighting a bunch of dudes who got rejected from prom and formed a group called the Rejected. It's not cool, it's just sad at that point. Anyways, remember that random nobody Mufasa just killed? The one with no dialogue, character trait, or actual distinction whatsoever? Well, turns out he was the main villain's son.
And you left my son to die?
Majesty! Oh, cheer up!
Okay, I know it's a common theme to make your bad guy look cool by having him murder one of his own, but strategically, survival-wise, it doesn't make sense for him to do this. You've already established that you guys were outcasted because of your rare white fur. Your breed is pretty scarce at this point. So mathematically, it's not really efficient to just kill off one of your own, especially after one already died 2 minutes ago. Yeah, so the main bad guy's name is Kiros, and apparently Mufasa just outright murdered his son. This angers Kiros, and now he has sworn vengeance against Mufasa and his family, leading to him and the Outsiders murdering the entire Pride. And honestly, them murdering the entire Pride thing, that was fucked up and a pretty good idea, but this was such a shitty way to set up the conflict. Outright lazy. Like, why is the catalyst of the entire story completely unknown? To not even have him have an ounce of dialogue. If Kiros' son's death was such a big deal, why treat it with little to no effort? Maybe if you didn't waste our fucking time in the beginning, you'd have enough leeway to show just how much Kiros' son meant to him or some shit. Well, Anyways, to escape the outsiders, Mufasa and Taka decide to find their way to Milele. And that's basically the whole movie. It's our two heroes traveling from point A to point B, all while running away from Kiros and the outsiders. During the chase, they would encounter other characters along the way and befriend them, namely Sarabi, Zazu, and Rafiki. Yep. Turns out Disney decided that everyone's getting origin stories now. The crew reach Milele, a love triangle ensues, Taka betrays Mufasa for a little bit, and a big old fight breaks out.
You have nothing to fear. We have come for Mufasa.
How did they get here?
Bitch, you tell me! You're the one with the fucking superpowers! So, what? You just conveniently overlooked their scent? The scent that you were specifically supposed to keep track of?
Please, don't kill him.
Oh. That's how he got his scar? Okay. After a pretty quick fight scene, Mufasa and Taka managed to beat Kiros. Oh my god, you guys did it again? Why would you do the same reference twice? Wait, hold on. So let me get this straight. So, Taka saved Mufasa from getting eaten by crocodiles, getting mauled by Kiros and the outsiders, getting mauled by Kiros again, and saved him from drowning. All because he deeply cares about him. But then, fast forward to the Lion King, he ends up killing him anyway. So what the fuck was the point in saving him the last time? And that was Disney's Mufasa the Lion King.
I always wanted a brother.
Now, like I said, I personally think the movie wasn't that good. And one of the main reasons why was that there were a ton of questionable choices the studio decided to push on that didn't really make any sense. But before that, here's a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Manta Sleep. Manta Sleep makes the world's best sleep mask and functional sleep accessories, empowering you to sleep better so you can do better. And nothing speaks louder than that with Manta Sleep's Pro Nap movement. As most of you guys know, I work a full-time job, so most days when I get home, I just want to crash on my bed and sleep the rest of the day away. But for most instances, that's not really the case. Whether it's blocking out daylight or the sounds of the busy outside world, it can be a challenge sometimes. But thanks to Manta Sleep and their sleep masks, I can have a great night's sleep anytime, uninterrupted. I practically don't go to bed without it. But I mean, the mask in general is just awesome. Completely made out of premium materials. I really like how easily adjustable it is too. Plus, the eye cups are super comfortable and pretty cool. It's actually the first time I've seen something like it. It's pretty freaking awesome. They have tons of different types of sleep masks too. They have the Pro Mask, the Silk Mask, a Cool and Steam Mask, and my personal favorite, the Sound Mask. This one has Bluetooth. So if you want to relax and listen to podcasts, audiobooks, or just music in general, you can just sit back in pitch black with this. Manta Sleep has been a game changer for me, from my night sleep straight to my daytime energy. So I can't thank them enough for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested, check out Manta Sleep in the description down below and use the code BEANIE with a double I to get 10% off your next order. Again, click the link below and use the code BEANIE with a double I to get 10% off your next order. And thanks again to Manta Sleep for sponsoring today's video. Problem number 1. Hakuna, my time is being fucking wasted, god damn it! So, as I said earlier, the movie starts off with a horrible prologue. Right from the jump, give it around 3 to 4 minutes, you immediately notice a loud, gigantic, big old red flag to start the movie. Can you guess what it is?
Security detail has arrived!
And that one three-legged zebra.
Oh, right, Ron. That was tragic.
We'll tell a story anyway.
Okay, we'll tell him that we're not gonna tell a story, and then we're gonna tell
He's always lying. Get it?
Timon and fucking Pumbaa! What the fuck are you two doing here? You've never even met Mufasa. Why the hell are you in the movie? And why won't you just leave and let me watch the goddamn thing? Yeah, the first issue I have with the movie is that it refuses to start. Deadass, we waste nearly 10 minutes of the movie just walking around, wasting time doing complete bullshit with Timon and fucking Pumbaa. Their role in this movie is to basically babysit and comfort Simba's daughter, Kiara, during a storm. And while doing that, Rafiki comes along and tells her the story to calm her down. And all this is happening because Simba had to leave because he had to go to Nala, who was giving birth, and oh my god, all this was just completely fucking dumb. It's all so unnecessary and a complete waste of time. It's such a dumb excuse for a prologue too, because even as a prologue, it's horrible. It's way too rushed, way too clunky, and completely all over the place. It honestly feels like a segment they had to pump out last minute. Rafiki had an entire monologue that would eventually lead up to the story of Mufasa, but it got too distracting because he ended up rushing his words as if he was giving an Oscar speech. The music started to ramp up and so did he. And that's not even the worst part. This dysfunctional group of fuck-ass fillers for some reason keeps popping up in the middle of the movie. Yeah, they interrupt the story of Mufasa, completely hijacking the movie and grinding it to a halt just to give their insights. How does a group that led to a sequence that felt so rushed end up dragging the movie?
And 1, 2.
Hakuna Mufasa, what a wonderful name. Hakuna Mufasa.
Oh my God. There's this one scene where Mufasa and Taka are running for their lives and the moment is intense. Our two main characters are in a goddamn chase scene and it fucking cuts to Kiara for like 3 seconds just to get her reaction and it just cuts right back in.
Run, Mufasa!
What the fuck? We didn't need that shit. What are you doing? It's a constant thing that happens in this movie. Like we're in the middle of a scene and it just cuts to these idiots in the cave giving us absolutely nothing. Speaking of giving us nothing, problem number 2, all build up, no payoff. Backtracking for a second, there's a scene during the flood that they kinda drag out for a bit. It's Mufasa being one jump away from safety and the movie plays it off as something that would linger on for the rest of his life. His mother was right there, but because he was too afraid to take a step, the flood swept him away. And I was sorta expecting that this would be a big thing later in the movie. Like it would be something he would try to redeem himself from. Similar to that scene in the Guardians movie. But weird enough, it never gets brought up. I was surely expecting like something in the climax where he had to save someone by taking a leap, similar to the one thing he couldn't do that led him to losing his family. But we don't get any of that. This one scene gets set up right there, but they never follow through. They also set up another thing earlier in the movie that they kinda just never get back to. So when Taka found Mufasa alone by a river, he took him back to his pride where they were forced to race each other.
You better start running, little Mufasa, for your life.
If I run, you'll never catch me. I'm the fastest cub that ever lived.
This isn't the first time Mufasa gets mentioned being the fastest cub, mind you. His dad, also mentions it earlier. So when the two race and Mufasa wins, aka Taka let him win, it's weird that they never bring it up again. Again, I was fully expecting the racing each other thing would come right back around and would serve as a big deal later in the climax. But no, it's never mentioned ever again. It's just weird that we get these scenes where it looks like the movie is building up to something, but ultimately end up being nothing. Problem number 3, words are hard. I've got a question. Was this movie written by AI? Was the script not proofread? Because it sounds like it wasn't proofread. Now, not to be nitpicky, but I'm sorry, I just have to point it out. The dialogue for this movie was straight up ass, bro. The way that characters talk to one another felt super unnatural and clunky. I don't know what happened. The animated one didn't sound like this, and the remake's dialogue sounded mostly fine. The sound editing in this movie was just beyond lazy. There were multiple instances where the characters' conversation sounded monotone and robotic. Some exchanges were just constructed so poorly it's unbelievable.
Coming this way, Obasi. 2 lions for every one of ours. Each one bigger than the next, but none as mighty as Kiros, their terrifying king.
Motherfucker, why do you talk like that? Can you try to speak normal for like 2 seconds?
Mufasa,
How do you know who I am?
we know the outsiders are hunting you.
Bruh, you didn't answer the question. A good one, in fact. How did you know his name? He just got here.
Is this Malele?
No, my love.
Oh, we're done talking, I guess. What the fuck? What kind of conversation was that? Oh, yeah, speaking of Melele, that's another issue I have with the movie. Problem number 4. Lore? Question mark? Look, I understand the movie wanting to justify how Mufasa became so well respected across the land. But what I don't understand is all the unnecessary lore dump Disney felt like they were obligated to provide. Look, movie, I do not care how Rafiki got his stick. I didn't even want to know how he met Mufasa. And Pride Rock? Really? Did we really need to know how Pride Rock formed? All I wanted this movie to showcase was how Scar and Mufasa's brotherhood fell apart. You know, make it dramatic. Make it heartfelt. Make it emotional. None of that shit happened. And what really annoys me about that is how the writers openly try to subvert our expectations that it just ends up ruining the entire story. What do you mean they're not biological brothers? It's been a pretty well-known fact that they were. And wouldn't it be much more dramatic and emotional that way? You had the skeleton of a great story of brotherhood and betrayal laid out right in front of you, and you still fumbled it?
No, I love her, my brother.
Really, Taka? You lose your mind over newly found pussy?
Then call me Scar, so I will never forget what I have done.
Nah, I'm good, bro. Can I call you Cash Grab instead? Yes, this will be a very biased take, but it's still true. I am a big Lin-Manuel Miranda fan, and I personally think the songs he wrote for this movie were the only redeeming qualities about it. Hear me out, I wouldn't say it's one of his best works, but they're still pretty good. I Always Wanted the Brother is probably one of his catchiest songs by far. It does take some getting used to, but overall, it's still a bop. But I do have to say though, Disney kinda did Lin dirty here. Now, I don't know if Lin knew this movie was going to be live action, but the songs 100% do sound like it was intended for faster paced animated sequences like in Encanto, rather than the photorealistic CGI we see in this one. I don't know, but the film sticking to their guns on making sure the environment and characters move close to identical as in real life really fucked over the musical sequences here. There's a villain song from Kiros called Bye Bye, and it's actually so good, but watching that song in a musical number in the movie was just brutal. The camera was just slow panning, no sharp cuts, no strong colors, no intimidating lighting. It completely falls flat. The beat and percussions of the song were on point, but the whole scene completely lacked energy. Compare that with Scar's Be Prepared, and it's practically the hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby meme. Lin-Manuel Miranda's songs worked super well for movies like Vivo, Moana, and Encanto because visually, those movies had the ability to match his song's energy. Here, the movie pretty much lets go of the rope and doesn't want to stress itself too much. Because I guess making memorable, colorful, impactful visual scenes is too hard for their $300 million computers. But yeah, the songs were good, but the musical numbers sadly do it complete injustice. Overall, Mufasa the Lion King was pretty disappointing. They had a great concept, a good idea, but sadly, they just couldn't execute. The story is uninteresting, the characters are bland, and the pacing is all over the place. The CGI looks great but lacks personality. It's a complete mess and a waste of potential. The movie could have been done so much better if it had been handled by a team that actually cared to tell the story of Mufasa. The movie is passable enough for most audiences, but apart from the songs, there's really nothing about it that brings you back. Void of charm, storytelling, and character, Mufasa the Lion King is a prequel that definitely deserved better. 3 out of 10. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Have a great day and a good night, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!